Welcome to the YouTube channel. I hope you're having a blessed day and you've come to this YouTube video with an open mind, because a lot of what I'm going to say is going to sound crazy. I have 5 main topics that stood out to me, and I would like to share some of my opinions. This video was inspired by Destin Troyce's video, which is linked in the description. So the first issue, as you can tell by the title, it's called the 2020 Agenda, is the Black Agenda. Now hear me out. This is going to sound messy. If you go to the website of Black Lives Matter, not sure if they took it down, but you'll read that one of their mottos is to destroy the nuclear family. This topic was also mentioned by Troyce and utterly frightened me. To some people, this sounds like a good thing, the support and liberty of a single parent household, but I see something insidious. Most black men in America go to prison at some point in their lives, and prison acts as the cage that breaks the family apart. A nuclear family is a home where children have 2 parents that are able to balance each other out. One person can't handle things alone, no matter how independent they think they are. A loving and mentally supportive household should have a mother and a father. This is why it is so disheartening in today's climate to see how the children end up when they are raised by one parent. If the father is the breadwinner, then his family is left worse off and often stuck in poverty and in what people unfortunately call the ghetto. A lot of Black Lives Matter profit goes to the Democratic Party, which most African Americans support. Black people are being targeted and are benefiting the least. As far as I am concerned, 2020 has not been kind to America, especially to little black girls. Can I also mention how Black Lives Matter was started by 3 communists? Might not be a big deal to you, but alright. I don't want to get into that in this video, but you can research why that's suspicious. The second agenda comes in from the first. That gross Netflix movie Cuties or whatever, yes, it was a gateway to more heinous things that are coming down the pipeline. The media is trying to desensitize us, make more and more things seem acceptable. Only just a few days ago, people cried out about weed being a gateway drug to them legalizing cocaine and heroin. And we just need to keep our eyes open. I'm embarrassed to say I study medicine and felt encouraged to start my own psychedelic center in the future. Turns out those centers are popping up because if you're curious about drugs, why not get high knowing that you're surrounded by medical professionals that are here to help you in case of trouble? But after being saved, I realized that I was part of the agenda of freedom and let other people ruin their lives with drugs if they aren't hurting anyone. That is on the long-term effect. That is wrong, and there have been horror stories about weed because the research hasn't been done on the long-term effects. Someone has said, and I quote, "We were all born with original sin, and people talk about being born gay versus it being a choice." Now, I don't want to get into that, but I'll continue. Being gay was illegal. Your orientation, who you choose as a partner, are all choices we get in life. So, when homosexual marriage was made legal, that was the gateway to other people's agendas coming up, such as the case of pedophiles and cuties and incest even being an example of things that could be your choice. I know, yikes, right? My friend also went on to say, what is the difference between being gay and being incestuous? Even being straight, that was a whole mess, but it just came down to consent. Not like a mom and her child, but between siblings. Ew. Just thinking about it anyway, with this movie that came out, it highlights the age of consent in countries around the world. Some are as low as 12, in South Africa I think, and in France it's 16, some countries it's 14. So that means that they think teens and preteens are developed enough to consent. The whole thing is really frustrating because I'm 20 years old and my brain hasn't even fully developed. The third agenda is feminism. Yes, I am coming for everyone. Tommy Lauren, or whoever she is I don't know. She recently came out with a video stating her standards for a partner, and they aren't too high. Any guy can reach it. She scares me personally, but I am trying really hard for 2020 not to judge people. She was conned. I don't know how old she is, and I know it is rude to bring up age, but I have a hypothesis. Feminism has taught us to be independent, which is good, but it also brought harsh slogans like men are trash and I'm an independent woman who doesn't need a man. But that's suspicious because all I want is equal pay in the workplace and to be treated like a human being outside of the workplace without degrading other people, i.e. men. Anyway, the system of feminism is built for white women. They benefit the most from affirmative action, according to the Harvard University studies. I'm proud to see women in high-paying jobs, but it is well known that it's lonely at the top. 60% of women are pining over the top 5% of men. Most women want a man that earns equal or more than them, but guys aren't as picky, so they have more options in theory. There's a YouTuber named, Shannon Lester, Kevin Samuel, so many people that make videos, and there was drama around her specifically previously. I still enjoy her content, but most of us can admit that there is a reason she is still single and jumping from heartbreak to heartbreak at her older age. Feminism is making us hate men, and I don't want to hate anybody. Women and men are supposed to balance each other out. The soft and the hard, the feminine and the masculine. Why are we being pitted against each other? I can't talk about this anymore, but us women are really being set up, and I don't like it. The fourth agenda is these vaccines that Bill Gates keeps pushing. As a Christian, I feel the end times are coming, and I might sound ridiculous, but I really believe it. I'm ready for the rapture personally. I hope you are too. It's insane how the Bible mentioned the mark of the beast and all that other mess, and we are slowly seeing history piece itself together. As it said in Ephesians 6, please put on the armor of God, because we aren't fighting against each other as human beings, but against spirits and principalities of wickedness. These plagues and diseases that have been coming up every century could have easily been predicted just by looking at the patterns of history. They knew people were going to die, and Bill Gates jumped on it that quickly in 2015, which is why people were suspicious. The Spanish flu, H1N1, Ebola, etc. But the governments need to talk about solutions. Drink lemon water, get your vitamin C, zinc, vitamin D, lots of sunlight. A lot of black people are deficient in iron, so get your supplements. Vitamin D and sunlight is so important for your immune system. I'm studying medicine, and it's terrifying how everyone is ignoring professionals telling them all of this. Like, masks are being politicized. We have both. And to everyone complaining about masks, which I mainly see as embarrassing, ask them and they will tell you they would rather die than take the vaccine. In my country and in places like South Korea, wearing face masks shows that you care for other people's well-being and that you are selfless. Looking at America makes me feel better, but honestly, we need to do better as a society. I'm not sure if I have a fifth agenda, but number one, people are being led further away from home values. People hate Christians and religious people in general. It's a weird hate when the Bible's main point is to love one another, and you don't want people to go to hell, so you encourage them to just live a better life, because we know what's going to come at the end of this. All this YOLO stuff, it's not real. You don't only live once. You either live once now and you end up in hell, or you can have eternal life in heaven. But anyway, I know it's easy to judge each other. It's a challenge I have, and I'm trying to overcome it. But we need not forget that God has given us the gift of choices. Whether you make the wrong or right decision, I can't say. But don't be a hypocrite. If you have broken any of the 10 commandments, don't go yelling at other women about abortion rights or for being oversexual. If you commit any of the 7 deadly sins, don't judge anyone for having a different belief than you do. The book of Matthew chapter 7 says, you can see the speck in your friend's eye, but you don't notice the log in your own eye. How can you say, my friend, let me take the speck out of your own eye, when you don't see the log in your own eye? You are nothing but show-offs. First, take the log out of your own eye. We shouldn't judge each other, because when judgment day comes, the harshness we judge others with will be measured and used for us. If you have a message or agenda to spread, think about it and do it with kindness. I hope I can work on that, and I'm sorry if this video was offensive. Stay safe. Wear your mask. Don't wear your mask. You'll have freedom of choice. Don't, because you have the right to do as you please, and thank God for giving you freedom.